Sunday night, WWE Roadblock and The Line post-show Slam Pigs podcast. I don't know the date, or I would have started it with
December 18th.
December 18th, and there he is, guys. Michael, welcome back.
Thank you.
Post-show.
Thank you.
How's it going?
It's going. I'm getting ready for Christmas.
It's the holiday season.
First Christmas with my newborn son. I'm pretty jacked up.
So technically, this is our holiday spooktacular.
Yes, this is our Jingle Bell show, whatever you want to call it, or Jingle Balls. Mahoney.
What's your favorite Christmas movie of all time?
That's a toughie.
It is?
Should I go like nostalgic or should I go funny?
See, does Home Alone qualify as a Christmas movie?
Well, yeah.
See, I put that in my top 3.
Die Hard qualifies, so why doesn't fucking...
Yeah. I gotta say, it's so generic to say A Christmas Story. I love the original Santa Claus.
Well, you see A Christmas Story every year. It's on all day.
The Grinch, the animated Grinch.
Fucking Bumpuses.
Not the Jim Carrey Grinch, but the original.
Oh, you're talking
Grinch.
about the original Grinch?
I
I have that on VHS.
Yeah.
I guess my favorite Christmas movie of all time would have to be Elf.
Yeah, that's a good
fucking
one.
hilarious.
Yeah. Shout out I've been playing the Let's Play on the channel this week. I'm gonna upload that for the Christmas. My holiday Let's Play was Elf on the Game Boy Advance.
There you go.
So
get yourself.
Shout out to us on Hibiki TMD with the gaming stuff. But Michael, you're on Twitter. Where can everyone follow you on Twitter? Real quick, let's plug our shit before we get into our holiday special. And you'll never hear shit and holiday special that quickly. Only here on the Slam Pigs podcast.
That is correct. You can follow us on Twitter at the Hibiki TMD for Travis, or at Mike the Slam Pig for me, or at the Slam Pigs podcast for us.
Let's clear up something too, because we were featured in the shout out series video, and a lot of people this is kind of flattering in a way. There's an imitation Hibiki TMD. Someone made a fake Hibiki TMD. It's just at Hibiki TMD. That's not us. That's the Hibiki TMD.
Yeah.
Is our Twitter.
At Hibiki TMD is an imposter. Do not watch it.
But whoever made it, it's kind of creepy.
I'm glad you're a fan and all, but yeah, you're lucky we're not suing you.
And Michael, one more milestone real quick to whore ourselves out. We're recording this on the day the channel has hit 300 subscribers.
Woo!
Finally, so thank you guys.
300 bitches.
From Melody to Eric Amard. Let's go ahead and say his name that you call him. You get it out of your system because I know it's Eric Amard.
Oh, Amar Johnson.
Yeah, that's what I was going. Who's fuckface? God,
that's probably Lee.
Lee. He's been there since day one. Thank you to so many people recording this same day. So there it is. Well, let's get down to the brass tacks of why we're here. I just got really less excited because we got to talk about Roadblock and The Line.
We had Roadblock and The Line tonight live on pay-per-view from Pittsburgh. It's short drive up the road, about 4 hours from where we are.
Yeah.
They had it in Pittsburgh tonight.
Home of Corey Graves, rocking the yellow thing in his sports coat.
Well, that's awesome for him.
Yeah,
Corey Graves. I know you're a fan. I'm not.
I think he's a decent color guy. I mean, look what they have. Better than Byron.
Giant doodle board of a person.
But Roadblock and Line was in Pittsburgh, Michael.
Yes.
And this pay-per-view had me so hyped up and invested. I totally forgot it was tonight. I totally forgot you were coming, actually. You show up and, oh, yeah, there's a show.
Yeah, I always love that when you open the door and you go, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You gave me a look like, what the fuck are you doing here? And they were like, oh, yeah.
But welcome.
Thanks.
Again.
Yeah.
Well, this show started, I mean, first of all, this is one of those filler. Second Roadblock pay-per-view of 2016. Which is...
That's why it's the end of the line.
Let's get right into it.
Rusev?
Top of the Rusev?
Rusev.
Let's start from the bottom.
Start with Rusev.
We always start at the top. Let's go with Rusev since he's on the bottom, unfortunately, on the pre-show.
Yeah.
Big Cass versus Rusev on the pre-show with Enzo and Line on the outside. Now, the storyline, we missed last week's show, by the way, guys.
We did.
All apologies. Yep. Life happens.
Trav sucks.
Well, you had to build a crib for your baby boy.
Don't blame it on me.
No, I'm not. I'm saying that shit took a while when I had to do it, so I understood that. But just saying, apologies to you guys.
Hours.
We missed updating the roles, but yeah, the storyline on this has been all right. I haven't hated it. The hotel scene with Enzo getting his ass beat, I thought was great. But these guys could all be doing much more than this at the end of the day, in my opinion.
Yeah. Enzo and Cass should be going for them tag belts, and Rusev should be going for some kind of belt.
We'll get to the tag belts in a little bit.
We will.
Got some news on that.
But anyway,
top 3
this was a very lackluster match for me. I didn't feel like it showcased either one. It's a pre-show match, so obviously you knew it wasn't going to get a bunch of time.
Yeah.
It ended up in a shitty schmaz count-out victory for Rusev.
Lana, all 103 pounds of her, somehow managed to miraculously Superman pick up fucking Rusev off the ground and throw him in like nothing, like a piece of paper.
Yeah.
Terrible ending.
Lana evidently is on the roids.
I see
It's
why.
like Rocky 4.
Yeah.
Rocky 4, them Russians, they're on the shit.
I see why they did it though. They don't want to end this feud right away. I guess they want to give it a little bit
It's
more
really
than a pre-show
stupid.
match.
I feel like this if this feud is starting on the pre-show, where's it gonna end?
Unfortunately,
Opening match on the card?
I see it blowing off in the Rumble match. I see Enzo and Cass both eliminate. I see Rusev dominating Diesel style. Then here come Enzo and Cass somehow, and they or you could say he eliminates them both.
Could
But
be.
I see that ending in the Rumble, and then they all go to
I
separate
see,
storylines going into
see,
Mania.
it's where I differ. I could see Big Cass doing a little Diesel style.
Yeah.
And Enzo coming in, and he kind of eases off a little bit, and that's when Rusev gets him from behind or something and fucking throws him over the top.
Yeah, I can see that too.
That's how I see it, but could be wrong.
That was the pre-show, Michael.
Yeah,
Pretty much nothing match.
Yippity doo. Opening match on the main card this evening, folks. Your tag team titles up for grabs. Usually, this is a formality because the New Day just finished breaking Demolition's record for the longest
I
reigning.
was about to say we haven't had a show since that happened, so congrats to the New Day. I thought they made chicken shit into chicken salad with the gimmick, so shout out to them.
Yeah, way to take something that was given. Well, actually, they came up with the gimmick.
Yeah,
but they didn't they definitely didn't see it this way.
They didn't see it was
yeah. I mean, they came up with the gimmick to an extent, and the WWE went along with it. They were supposed to be babyface. If you guys don't remember, go back to the New Day's debut,
like late 2013.
Go back
it's
to
been
this.
around for 3
The fans
years.
pretty much shit on this for 6 solid months.
Yeah,
and the New Day took the shit sandwich and ran with it
because they were booking it what style? Roman Reigns style. Yeah, force-fed, hokey, fucking bullshit.
It's a new day.
Guess what got him over?
Especially when you have Kofi Kingston doing most of your talking, you know you're not going to get over.
It's just another case of what we said. What episode? This 37, Michael. Yeah. Was what we say from so many episodes. When you turn a guy heel, he becomes one of the biggest stars of all time.
Look at Big E right now.
I'm not saying they're some of the biggest, but
I would put Big E up there as one of the most over people in the company. I'm not putting the New Day as a whole over. I know they are, but most of it's because of Big E. When Big E talks, he's got a voice.
Preacher,
yeah, he's got that voice that just fucking pulls you in.
Yeah.
Especially when he does the intro. Oh, wherever we're at.
Well, I think they knew that, like, he had that in him to do it. You just never saw that when he was a bodyguard.
No.
When he was trying to be a
Even when he was the Intercontinental champ.
Shortest diesel I've ever seen.
Yuck.
Just saying. Yucky.
He's a big fan.
But yeah, Cesaro and Sheamus beat the New Day tonight, Michael.
Clean.
Clean. The streak had to end. I mean, I feel so bad for the club. I know you're not a fan of the club.
Hold the man.
They should have had the belt so long ago. They should be established by now going into this season, into the Rumble season.
They definitely need it. But
Cesaro and Sheamus, I'm pretty sure, are going to remain faces. Well, here's the elephant in the room. What do you think of this whole Cesaro-Sheamus team?
Are they really faces, though?
Cesaro definitely is.
Yeah, but would you classify Sheamus as... They still do the...
Sheamus gets cheered, but I think it's just because of his affiliation.
He doesn't get cheered, though. He gets booed because they do
for the pose, but in, like, certain moves, they're cheering Sheamus. They're counting along with the beating on the chest. Saying 10, of course, for every fucking one.
Yeah, 10.
That's the new one.
Yeah, it's fucking awesome. But to me, this is the best work Sheamus has done in a while for me, but
letting him be himself more.
I don't know if this is the best work Cesaro's done. I feel like they're just giving Cesaro something to do to keep him quiet.
Yeah, give him a big old penny belt.
You talk about somebody that's been underutilized in this company for such a long time, and we've gone over this before with Cesaro.
Yeah, but you know what kills him. You know what kills him. His promos. That's exactly what it is.
He never gets any. And when he does, they don't give him anything reasonable to talk about. They give him that he gets to talk about his bullshit nothing feud with who cares.
Yeah.
I mean, it gives us throw him a fucking boat. Rusev can't talk for shit either.
Vince McMahon has a problem putting top guys in spots with thick foreign accents. Go back to most of the WWE champions. You could say Yokozuna, but he had a mouthpiece. He had Jim Cornette.
And so does Rusev. Well, what happened with fucking...
It's just a Vince thing.
What happened with Paul Heyman with Cesaro? I thought that was a great idea. We've gone over that before.
That's so weird to bring up because I watched like a random pay-per-view on the network the other night with Heyman managing Cesaro, and I thought they worked great. A lot better than Curtis Axel. When
crowd liked it.
Crowd was into it. And
I don't
it
know
really
what
did nothing
there.
but help Cesaro.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there, but I felt like they jumped off that bandwagon way too quick.
No idea what they did there.
The Swiss Superman maybe could be switched. I don't like that nickname.
It seemed
like it's very hokey.
That could also be on like a just a bad situation because Heyman, it seemed like when he was managing Axel and Cesaro more, he was on like the road full time more.
Yeah.
And maybe at his age, he didn't want that. So maybe it was at his request, but nobody just knows to this day.
Why would you choose Curtis Axel over Cesaro?
And they put the IC belt on Curtis
Yeah.
Axel, like his first match.
Yeah.
Or no, one of the matches.
Well, I mean, his first match was against Triple H. You remember that? I think that was his first match under Heyman.
Yeah.
And he won by like count out or some bullshit.
It was bad.
That pretty much just shit on him right from the get go. You can't win clean. So, if you're gonna repackage somebody, you could at least make him look like $1 million. They made him sound like $1 million, and then they put him in the ring with somebody who's so established that there's no way he's gonna get over.
Yeah.
And just shit on his character right from the beginning, even though he won by count out. Sorry to get off topic with Michael McGillicuddy, but it's
guys, don't tune out. It's Michael McGillicuddy.
I feel like Curtis Axel might have been able to have a little more success if they'd have booked it right.
Well, now he's Mr. Irrelevant.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yep.
Literally, that's his
the highlight of his career is being a fake Hulk Hogan.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's Jay Lethal territory. But Jay Lethal has actually turned it around.
Yeah.
He's doing very well.
Jay Lethal can actually, get over on his own. He can speak a little bit and doesn't need a mouthpiece. Well, I would love to see Jay Lethal in the Cruiserweight division.
I've heard rumors that he might be coming. I think they'd put him in NXT before the Cruiserweight division.
I think even if you put him in NXT and make him the NXT champion, he ends up Cruiserweight.
Obviously, this show is so exciting. We're talking about Jay Lethal in NXT.
Sorry to get off track, guys.
No, I'm just saying. This pay-per-view didn't give a lot. Yeah, I mean, was this shocking? No. WWE has a habit of when someone breaks a record like this, they're going to lose it the next week. It always fucking happens. Nikki Bella.
Charlotte.
So kind of new. Do I like it? Not really. I think New Day should have held it a little bit longer into an actual tag team.
Whoa. What? You were the one that's been advocating for them to lose the belts for how long? And now that they've broken the record, you want them to keep it.
The club. Only to the club. The only way I wanted them to lose those belts this whole time is to the club. I didn't want them to lose to Enzo and Cass. Nobody else. Because then I would have built up the club as champs going in as against Enzo and Cass, but they already blew their load on that match and feud with Enzo and Cass in the club. You know what I'm saying? Don't fucking correct me.
I'm calling you out because you've been
saying, I put you in your place.
Well, I wanted to fucking lose the belts to the club, and I wanted to lose the belts.
That was the only stipulation, the only reason.
You and the goddamn club. Do you need a private room at the club? Do you want to have yourself a little gay threesome?
Really?
What?
Really?
What? I'm not allowed to say the word gay.
Your hatred for Luke Gallows is just astonishing.
I'm sorry.
I don't know why. He's not that bad.
The club has gone over like a overcooked bologna sandwich.
He was Festus. He was Festus, man.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
You're not making your point.
It's hard to pull off that gimmick.
No.
Be all drugged out feeling.
No, it's not.
Anyway, let's move along, Michael. Jesus God. Will you be serious?
I'm being serious.
You're being seriously shitty.
I'm not being shitty. You're being shitty.
You're being shitty.
Why don't you fucking take your Festus flag and get the fuck out of here?
Just pictured a boat with a big Festus flag, and everyone on the boat's staring like Festus.
Oh God, they're all.
Yeah. New champs, Michael. Cesaro, Sheamus. We'll see where it goes.
This makes sense.
Hopefully, they drop it to the club.
This over 1 year reign to lose it to a tag team that was thrown together because they tied a best of 7 series.
You want to look at it in nerdy WWE logic? Well, half of this team was WWE champion, the other half's been a US champion, and they're just the New Day. That's why they won.
Is that how you see it?
That's what the trolls on Twitter would say. I've been feeding the trolls.
I already spoke to you about how I see it. It's basically throwing Cesaro a bone and giving Sheamus like some sort of rejuvenation in his career.
I think that's exactly what it is. They look at Sheamus a hell of a lot higher than they see Cesaro. That's for sure.
And I disagree with that totally.
The company. Was Cesaro in the Ninja Turtles movie? Does Cesaro get those opportunities? No, it was Sheamus as Rocksteady. Did you see the new Ninja Turtles movie?
No.
Oh. It wasn't horrible, but
I don't like the way that they do the semi-anime
CGI.
Yeah, it's really stupid.
The human eye can spot when it's real and not. And
we're not that stupid.
We're getting there. We're getting close.
Yeah, even in 3D, we can still see it's fake.
Man, this fucking pay-per-view sucked. Now we're talking about CGI and fucking. Anyway.
Next matchup
was. Oh man, let's.
Was it Jericho and Rollins, or was that the match after?
I don't know. Let's regroup here for a second and collect our thoughts. No, that was the second match of the night. Tag team title match. Next match of the night, Michael. Can Sami Zayn go the distance
Oh,
with
yeah.
the abominable Strowman, Braun Strowman?
Such a terrible nickname. That's so Vince. Let's call him the Abominable Strowman.
He's outlandish.
It rhymes with snowman, so we can go with Strowman.
Ugh.
Great idea, Vince.
Is he gonna come out with like a Jack Frost
I
hat and
really
a
hope
scarf
not, especially in the the season.
and jingle bells? Fucking
Jesus
God.
Christ.
Anyway,
And his music starts with what, Travis?
starts with a big old money shot
Yeah,
right at the beginning of it.
And I've been an
Ah!
advocate for Braun Strowman. I don't think he's a terrible worker.
You've been an advocate
Yes,
the
I
last
have.
month or so.
I don't think he's a terrible worker, especially for his size. I think he may be the most athletic big guy that they've had in this company for quite a while. This guy can move around in the ring pretty well.
Well, I would say giant, not big guy, because Roman Reigns you could say is a bigger guy.
Why?
Like giant.
Put Roman Reigns in the 80s. He's a cruiserweight.
It's not the 80s though.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, I know.
You call him a
Put him in
giant.
the 80s.
Okay,
He's a curtain jerker.
he's 7 feet tall, aka 6'9".
No, if you put Roman Reigns in the 80s, he's one half of a Samoan tag team managed by Lou Albano with face paint or something. You know he is. That's
Well,
they were stereotypical back then.
When they say somebody's 7 feet tall, I kind of shit on it because they're not usually.
Big Show.
Kevin Nash, 6'9".
Yeah, Taker 6'10".
Yeah.
They always accurately said Takers though. They never said 7 feet tall. I don't think. They're always like 6'10".
Maybe 6'11".
But speaking of giants, Sami Zayn, once again, this storyline's been built up, and this has been pretty good on Raw. I haven't minded this parts of Raw. Mick Foley's teeth fell out.
Trying to build.
Did you see that on Raw?
No.
You didn't see that?
I watched it and I didn't notice that.
Yeah, it's on the newest Botchamania and shit too.
Oh.
His teeth literally fell out.
So that's great.
Did you watch it on like the Hulu version?
No, I watched it live.
Huh.
But
maybe you were that enthralled. You just weren't paying attention.
I was probably looking at my phone.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
Because anytime Mick Foley comes on television anymore, I find a reason to not look at the television.
I can't blame you.
I'm sorry, Mick, but you get way too excited over nothing. That's my biggest thing with you.
Yeah.
You decide to scream about something for 2 minutes that has no business being screamed about.
And we get it. Sasha and Charlotte are making history.
Yeah.
Every 5 seconds.
They're making history.
Every 5 seconds.
You don't know what it's like to be in Hell in a Cell. You want to make history?
That's like they need a shirt with that quote.
Yeah.
You don't know what it's like.
Yeah.
He always starts everything.
Anytime Mick Foley doesn't have that, like, I guess, that gear to where he could find that middle ground between boring and really excited.
Because he was always either playing a crazy guy, fucking Dude Love, a hippie,
Yeah,
or Cactus Jack, another crazy guy. He was never like, well, TNA he was commissioner, but that sucked too. He's never good in this role. Now, Commissioner Foley, he was allowed to be more silly, and he always had Edge and Christian to play off of him. And he was a lot younger too, let's be honest.
He doesn't have to snap out on every fucking promo.
True.
He really doesn't.
Back then he was like jokey, he had props.
Yeah, it's just
that's what made him great as commissioner.
Why does he have to snap out on everything? He's got to be over intense.
Calm down.
He's gonna fucking have a heart attack.
Jesus.
You don't know what it's like.
Mick Foley came out with a white towel ready to throw in. Because Strowman, this was just a domination through the whole match.
Sami Zayn pretty much got squashed without being pinned.
Yeah. But
for 10 minutes.
Sami Zayn, I mean, where does Sami Zayn go from here? Do they continue this with an actual match?
I guess. I mean, not that it interests me a whole lot. I mean, I like the storyline, but what it actually turned out to be, not so much.
I didn't mind.
They're trying to build up this like underdog Sami Zayn thing.
Yeah. Are they Daniel Bryan in them?
But has he ever gotten over? Does him lasting 10 minutes really get him over as a serious star?
It's so crazy because he was
tearing the house down with Kevin Owens
in NXT.
And on the main roster.
But in NXT, he was one of the most over guys. He got insane reactions.
I mean, it's just another one of those things where
blues.
they bring him up the main roster and they don't use him right. I mean, Sami Zayn, from the minute he was brought up, was fed to more established talent as, oh, well, he could last, but he can't get the win.
And when he did win, it was only really against
Kevin
Owens.
His first match, Cena. Ended up getting injured.
Yeah,
Still was going to lose anyway.
But where do you get? I've heard people say they can see Sami Zayn winning the Royal Rumble. They pull another Daniel Bryan 2.0 thing.
He's not over.
I don't see
not even near that.
I do not see that happening at all. I don't know where he goes.
For him to win the Royal Rumble, he would have to take the level that he's over and times it by about 50.
Here's what I would do. Here's this week's fantasy booking with Travis. Roman Reigns just lost. He's got the U.S. belt. Sami Zayn's had this bowed chest outlook lately where he's sticking up the Giants, doing crazy shit. I think he goes right up in Roman's face, doesn't give a fuck, challenges him for the title. He said, I can go with Strowman. I know I can beat you for that belt. You do a babyface versus babyface match, and eventually, Reigns is going to win the first one maybe, but Sami Zayn pulls it out in the end. That's what I would do with Sami Zayn right now. And Sami Zayn needs a mid-card title, in my opinion. He should have had one by now. And not for like a month, like a good little
Ronzi.
Yeah.
Well, that's all fine and dandy, but it has to be fucking believable. I mean, Sami Zayn.
Was Daniel Bryan believable?
Yes.
Because he could work.
He had a build. And he was winning. He was fighting in 2 matches a night. I mean, he was brought down. He was brought up just to be brought down for months. And it made the fans want it even more. I thought what they did with Daniel Bryan was fucking awesome.
One of the best things they've done in 10 years.
Yeah, they didn't pull the trigger too soon when he was super over. They let it last. They let the fans want it even more, even though you thought they couldn't want it more. And then they let the fans shit on it at the Royal Rumble, which I thought was genius. At the time, I was like, really?
I don't think they let the fans. I don't think that was intentional.
I think they knew the fans were going to shit on it.
No, it's gone on record in shoots with Batista. The plan was for them to have Batista go all the way.
That's what they told Batista.
Just saying.
Doesn't mean that wouldn't be the first time they told one guy, "Hey, you're gonna win the belt at Mania," and then it didn't happen.
Are we actually giving credit to Vince on the show here?
Yeah, I am.
Modern
wrestling. I thought the way that they did this was fucking genius.
It was good.
And Dave Batista can say what he want about. Well, I was supposed to be the champion. Batista, if anybody thought you were going to be champion, I think it was pretty well put at the Royal Rumble when you won it. When the whole fucking place booed you out of the goddamn building.
Yeah.
I think you should have noticed by then, hey, I'm probably not going to win this belt.
One thing I will say about Batista, he doesn't give a fuck anymore.
Or it could have been noticed on his return.
Yeah.
To Raw when the whole crowd fucking booed him out of the building.
They have skinny jeans and he ripped them or something.
Yeah, it was fucking horse shit.
Like, he came
Nobody
out against Del Rio.
Batista's not a guy that can quit and come back and fans are just going to embrace him.
He's not Steve Austin.
He had a good run as a popular guy on SmackDown. Dave Batista is never going to be your top talent on Raw or in the company.
This last run he had, not to get off topic again, but I think it worked out the best because he was great as a heel.
Well, think about it. Think about it when he won his first title off Triple H.
That's
at WrestleMania.
Yeah,
the crowd shit on it.
No, they didn't shit on it. They cheered. It was It was 05.
That whole fucking.
They closed that WrestleMania with the wrong match. It should have been going off the air with Cena winning the belt because Cena was the guy. That's when Cena was actually tolerable.
That whole feud was stupid. Dave Batista was not ready to be made the champ. Yep. He was not that over.
I think they were just in a desperate place to make
the most over he was when he was going one-on-one with The Undertaker on SmackDown. In those pay-per-view matches he had with The Undertaker, that was his peak.
Yeah.
And then he left, which totally killed him.
Well, no, he was always injured, remember, back then. He was get injured for like 6 months.
He would get injured, but
come back and get injured
But he
again.
was still over. But when you just decide to quit, when you turn heel and all that shit, that totally killed his character. I thought the worst thing that could have happened to Batista there was turning heel. I thought he was finally getting over as a babyface on SmackDown. Then they bring him over to Raw to go against Cena.
Like 2008, something like that?
It was probably closer to 2000.
2010?
Probably closer to that.
They had their match at WrestleMania 26 for the WWE title. It wasn't the main event by any means, but
no,
it was in Arizona at 26. It was Batista and Cena.
Yeah,
because Batista won the title at the Elimination
and
Chamber.
We're on 30.
Ooh,
couple now.
33.
Yeah,
Orlando.
7 years ago. Well, almost 7 years. So yeah, it was around 2010.
Back to Orlando again. Jesus.
But it's just to the point where Batista's worst move was leaving the company. If he's going to come back, you don't leave the company. You're not The Rock.
Yeah.
You can't just come back and everybody's like, "Oh my God, it's Dave Batista." That'll never happen.
Nope. Not on that level. He's the guy that works with the guy that draws the money, as Jim Cornette likes to say about Triple H.
AKA Triple H.
Or Sheamus, or so many guys. Let's move right along. Get on this show, Michael. Seth Rollins, Chris Jericho, one-on-one grudge match, I guess.
5 stars.
We actually did not see this match. The network's been having issues all night.
Yeah.
And this is actually when you showed up too.
Yeah.
On top of it.
We saw Seth Rollins get his hand raised.
Literally, when it came on, Rollins was getting his hand raised.
Got the win. We found out it was because
5-star Dave Meltzer rating.
Once again, it's because Kevin Owens comes out and distracts well, he tries to help Chris Jericho and distracts him, and then pedigree, it's over. Yippity doo dah, way to help Seth Rollins' career.
But yeah, that was that.
Yeah.
Definitely more to that later on in the show.
I mean, it was a nice little match, but
Cruiserweight class. Here's something finally I got a little bit of smile to talk about.
Travis had to look that up on his computer.
I did. Because the show is just oof. This ain't getting a good grade, I'm telling you.
This is your favorite match of the night, Cruiserweight.
For those, real quick, those of you guys that like this pay-per-view, you might as well turn it off now. Because we're going to shit on it. Triple threat cruiserweight title match. 2 crickets to no reaction.
For any of them.
For any of them. You can be outlandish as you want, but if nobody's cheering, you can have wings. Rich Swann defending against TJ
Poikins.
And the 37-year-old Brian Kendrick.
What's with the little swan things on his tights?
The little flip-flops.
Have they always been there?
They're like mud flaps.
Have they always been there? I haven't noticed them.
I don't think.
Or was that new tonight?
I think that's a Vince
thing. They look terrible.
It's got to be a Vince
Every time he ran, you saw him flapping.
It
was really stupid.
Like a swan.
Yeah, but swans...
They don't really fly.
They float in water and stuff. I don't...
Rich Swann just floats.
Why are those on his tights?
I don't know.
And for those of you who didn't notice, go back and watch that match. Rich Swann has shit flapping off his tights.
Well, that's why they're on his tights, because of a swan.
Well, like fucking mud flaps.
Pick a creature that can fly.
Jesus
Didn't
Christ.
Shelton Benjamin have like a pterodactyl on his tights?
I don't know, but at least he didn't have flaps.
Puss flaps.
Fucking Swan flaps. That's his new nickname. Rich Swan flaps.
In all seriousness, you know what those flaps reminded me of? Nikki Bella. Sorry, I had to.
Nikki Bella's what?
Flap. 2 Bella twins on his tights.
Oh, Melody's gonna get you.
Sorry, Melanie. It's all good.
No, you're not.
No, I am.
You're not sorry.
She gets fired up about
We make fun of Melody. Well, we don't make fun of Melody.
We don't make fun of
We make fun of Nikki all the time.
Yeah.
And it's very well deserving, Melody. And I don't care if you like it or not.
Well, we know this. Melody
and I have gone at it on Twitter.
Melody's way cooler than Nikki. By any means.
Well, Melody's probably not a snobby bitch.
She's not. Melody's awesome. But...
Yeah. She probably doesn't have fake tits, and she's probably not fucking the top star to get over, and, you know, sacrificing her whole life's goals just to...
Well, for new listeners, like, who the fuck are they talking about? Yeah. So let's move
Nikki
on.
Bella.
Melody.
Oh, Melody Ann? Yeah. Melody Ann. Our fave. Well, one of them.
One of them.
She loves us. She loves all over our faces on Twitter.
But yeah, Cruiserweight title match. This match was...
You loved it?
I don't know. It's the same. It's the same Cruiserweight title match we've been seeing every week.
It's a triple threat match.
I mean, let's be honest. They're good matches, but they're the same fucking match.
Can we talk about the botch there?
Yeah.
With Rich Swann.
The leapfrog.
Yeah, the leapfrog that wasn't. With Rich Swann and the Brian Kendrick, who came out looking gayer than ever tonight. Sorry for those of you that may like the same sex.
Will you be serious?
He's wearing like hot pink tights and...
No, they were purpley for the division. He's a prideful man. He's 37, Michael.
There wasn't much purple in those.
Bret Hart, your favorite of all time.
Yeah, but
fluorescent hot pink.
He wasn't wearing total pink pants with nothing else.
No singlet for Brian Kendrick.
No.
Thank God.
It was just all pink, and
I don't think he could pull off.
It was all pink pirate. That's all he was. It's a pink pirate.
Pink pirate.
Pink pirate goatee man. And you know how much offense he got in this match after that?
Literally
none.
Literally, pretty much.
He
got a captain's hook in there.
Yeah, he ended up basically being a fucking prop in this match.
He got a long John Silver in there.
Anytime Perkins and Swan would go out.
Say it right.
Poikins. Sorry, Poikins. You love some TJ Poikins.
I love his music for the 15th week in a row.
You like how he chews on his dog tag when he's in the ring?
It's my favorite thing in wrestling.
When he's up on the ropes doing his thing and he chews on his dog tag in his mouth.
He dabs and...
You like that, don't you?
Nope.
Don't lie.
I like his music. Who won this match, Michael, and why was he outlandish?
Rich Swann.
Rich the outlandish.
Why is he outlandish?
He dances a lot.
Why does that make him outlandish?
What, he wears can we look that up? Just a jacket.
What is the definition of outlandish?
I don't know. Crazy.
Off the wall?
Flamboyant.
Okay.
Gold
so why didn't they call Shawn Michaels the outlandish Shawn Michaels?
don't know. Why call anybody outlandish?
Yeah, it's. I mean,
You want to talk about our NWO stable?
No,
Instead of deleted Matt Hardy, it's
No.
outlandish everyone, and they have pink attire. And
Outlandish Dean Malenko, Outlandish Disco Inferno.
outlandish Brock Lesnar, Beast Incarnate.
I like Disco Inferno as the leader.
Anyway, this match was pretty much a cruiserweight match. Man,
Three-way
Outlandish was
tangle.
But here's
the Kendrick served as a prop.
Yeah.
Swan gets the clean win.
the
Super kick on
37-year-old
Poikins.
Poikins.
Poikins gets super kicked.
Want to go eat at Poikins?
No.
T.J. Perkins' family owns Perkins. Their food sucks. It's like a shitty Denny's.
Never been.
It's not good.
Is the ice cream good?
How do you fuck up ice cream?
Really? I've seen it.
I got a Reuben there, and it tasted like Missy Hyatt's vagina. It was
Ugh,
awful.
I don't want to know what that tastes like, but it doesn't sound
Unfortunately,
good.
I've done a lot of things I regret.
Missy Hyatt, she follows us on Twitter.
She does.
Way to go.
Doubt she listens
Now,
to the show.
now we just lost a fucking follower.
She doesn't listen.
Okay. She doesn't listen to our show. We're not good enough for her.
Probably not.
Well, fuck her.
She's
then.
been with
Well,
legends like Ricky Morton and Ronnie Garvin, and I don't know who she's been with. Eddie Gilbert. She was married to Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert. Let's get back on track. Jesus Christ.
Hey,
naming all the NWA.
When you say Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert, make sure when you edit this, you put up a picture of him so that people understand who that is that she was married to.
Why are you putting more work on me? And it's just Eddie
Just
Gilbert.
saying, it's just an Eddie Gilbert picture.
Weren't you always
in his prime? I wanted you in his prime when he was looking hot stuff. That way it makes her look a little better and her pussy doesn't stink as much.
Oh, will you be serious?
What?
God, I said vagina at least. I didn't say the P word.
Oh, because you were politically correct
I said eating
with the female crotch region.
It tasted like her vagina.
Sorry, her snatch, her bug, her hoo-ha, whatever you want to call it.
A hoo-ha?
Yeah, whatever. Sorry, I didn't say pussy.
Neville comes out after the Cruiserweight title match. We think it's going to be standard cape, purpley Neville. Actually, I think he's wearing red, but he's got a little goatee, a little British goatee. We've got some news about
when you grow a goatee, that makes you bad guy now in the Cruiserweight division, like Brian Kendrick.
Wade Barrett. No, he wasn't a Cruiserweight.
Just makes you a fucking bad guy now. Grow a goatee, that makes you look mean.
I thought
that's a Vince thing.
This was hilarious. Well, not at the time because we were like, what the fuck? As soon as Neville came out, he actually got a pop.
Yeah.
Especially when he did what he did. But as soon as he came out, the network shit out.
Yep.
I tried putting the WWE network on at least.
I was upset.
On 3 different devices. Even the old Xbox 360 dug deep. But at the end of the day, the Xbox 360 came through over the Roku player, the PS4. So missed this. Saw this on the highlights. Neville turned heel.
Right when Neville was coming out, I was
and
upset.
We missed his heel turn.
Do you remember that?
Yes.
I was upset.
Neville turned heel.
I said right when Neville's coming out. That's exactly what I said.
You were offended.
You were
debating
pissed.
calling customer service.
This was something interesting in the Cruiserweight division. It cuts off right in the middle of it.
You done?
I was pissed.
You done with
the
sarcasm?
No.
Because it's very detectable.
I wasn't being sarcastic.
But Neville turned heel. I think Neville had that Ricky Morton bad guy fire.
He had that nasty heel fire going.
I like it. I think we
Just
both
came in and beat the fuck out of Rich Swann and T.J. Perkins.
We both said ever since even the Cruiserweight Classic on the network, where's Neville? What's he doing? Well, he was injured, but when he's come back for a while, he's been doing nothing. He's been Damian Sandow on it backstage.
Now they're giving him something to do.
I think this is good.
Now he's the new jacked up Cruiserweight badass.
And what'd the crowd chant? After
Thank you, Neville.
He beat the shit out of everybody in this match.
They chanted thank you, Neville. Everybody wanted something different. And they got Neville turning heel. Captain Chin himself. Now, the only bad part I had about this...
You mean ears?
Well, both. Yeah. I mean, that's an ugly man. When you get a close-up on him in a promo, it doesn't look good.
Serious.
Now, you can tell when he comes down the aisle, they keep it a little distance. They just show most of his body.
Because that's like a Greek god.
They show his physique, but not so much close-up on the face. So... I mean, it's done for a reason. Sorry, Neville, you're not a good-looking man from the neck up.
Vince has fired, it's rumored, like 3 camera producers over Zoom. I said not on his face! So, don't do it. If you're a cameraman WWE, don't you zoom on that Neville face.
No, don't do it. You're breaking hearts.
But did you think this was good for Neville?
In
all seriousness?
Obviously. I mean, I didn't see it coming, for one, which is always good for me. I love it when I don't see something coming, because that happens rarely in the wrestling business with me. As you found out tonight during this pay-per-view when I called most of the spots that were going on.
You booked the Iron Man match.
Pretty much. But this for Neville, I don't know how much it really jumpstarts his career, but it's something for him to do that. And this, I think,
Does it jumpstart the division?
I think it definitely legitimizes it a little bit. You have a former NXT champion now going after your title.
Yeah.
So, and Neville has gone. I think he's had an Intercontinental title match in WWE since he's been on the main roster.
Yeah, but he's never won
won it.
Yeah.
But he's been legitimate as one of those small guys that's gotten over a little bit and been, realistic. And when you think about his work rate, he's cruiserweightish.
He's very good in the ring.
Yeah,
in all seriousness.
he's very good technically, and he can fly.
He's the epitome of a cruiserweight guy.
I mean, he does his thing from top rope, and it's wonderful, and you're done.
It's wonderful, Paul Orndorff style.
I don't like the entrance that much. I don't like the cape. I think it's
maybe
stupid.
We'll see him drop the cape now that he's heel, or maybe it'd be like a big evil Satan cape or something.
I don't know, but I've never liked his entrance that much, and I never liked the man who defied gravity shit.
Do they form a stable with him as the leader in the Ascension and make it like an evil empire?
Why are you trying to get the Ascension over?
Just give them something to do.
They're not cruiserweights.
3 months ago you hated Neville. Now you're like, oh, I missed it. Damn it.
I didn't hate Neville. I just didn't like.
You don't like his ears. Admit it. There's a lot of wax in them fucking things. God.
They stick out farther. God.
There's enough wax in them things to fucking wax down the surfboard.
Jesus, his ears. I feel like he could hear Korea right now.
He can hear us talking about his ears
right
now.
He probably can. You get fucking two-way radio on them things.
Man.
Jesus.
Like Pete and Pete's mom. Remember that shit? Shout out to Pete and Pete. What a great show.
Shout out to Netflix.
Is it on Netflix?
Yeah.
There you have it. Go watch Pete and Pete if you've never seen that.
I was watching The Wonder Years the other day.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
Well, Whitney Cooper always gets me going.
Speaking of getting us going, this is match of the night?
It had to be.
Women's title match. Again.
Unfortunately.
30-minute Iron Man woman match.
They called it an Iron Man match, but it's 2 women.
Yep.
Never understood that. Why? You mean Iron Woman match? Or?
And they'll say it on commentary.
Yeah.
But they won't. I don't know. Maybe it's too much to put in the graphic on the logo.
I guess.
Can't fit all those letters.
Can't fit all that in there.
Yeah, it was a Charlotte Sasha match. Not one of their best.
Just let me know when I can shit on the Iron Man match itself. Just go ahead with your thoughts, and then I'll
the actual match type.
Yes,
but like go ahead. The tables match.
Yeah, go ahead with your thoughts, and then I'll jump in.
All right. Well, now that we've pre-planned on air.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let's pull the curtain back.
I'm trying to be polite.
Go ahead and shit on it.
It's a very rare thing
let
for me. I'm trying to be polite, and
I'm all over the place tonight because I wasn't prepared to do the show because I forgot, and it was a shit show. So you go ahead.
I'm glad one of us is devoted to the show.
Who canceled last week?
You did.
I just said let's do it early in the afternoon,
and I couldn't.
Well, stuff going on.
Well, we had plans to do it the same time we always do it.
Sorry, you can't.
Then you change them last minute, 2 hours beforehand, and expect me just to drop everything.
Sorry, you couldn't do it all the other 7 days since then.
Christ.
Devotion.
I take 1 day out of the week to do this. I set my plans aside. I'm a busy man.
You're raising a baby.
I am.
You said this is the highlight of your week.
It is.
Getting out of the
house. My week fills up quick.
With baby stuff.
It does. You have no idea.
I don't have any idea.
No.
How many kids are here?
He's fat. He's heavy. He hurts my back.
Jesus, Kirstie Alley has joined the show, everybody. Look who's talking, Michael. Anyway, let's get serious. Back on track.
He's the cutest kid ever, though.
Yep. Love my nephew. Love the show. Anyway, why is this love thing going on now?
Yeah, stop it. Okay, the Iron Man match itself. First Iron Man match I ever saw, if I recall correctly, it's not 30 minutes.
How many?
60 minutes.
Now,
60.
Do you want to
an hour?
You want to do that justice and say it just like Earl Hebner did? Because I know you know it.
You're gonna be wrestling for 60 minutes. It's an Iron Man match. Now, I warn you on the count of 4. I will disqualify you on the count of 5.
Yeah, the I don't know, Brett Shawn Michaels Iron Man match.
Look at the intro for that when they're standing in the ring and Earl Hebner's giving them their instructions. First time ever you see a referee giving them the instructions. Like it's a fucking boxing match.
That's the first time ever I saw that as a kid.
Yes.
F, whatever.
Yeah. But last I checked, it's 60 minutes.
My opinion, the best Iron Man match, real quick so you can go on your rant, is Brock and Kurt Angle. I think they had the most enthralling.
That was on SmackDown.
Yes. But go ahead. I mean,
that was a great Iron Man match.
Not a big Iron Man match fan either.
No, I'm not a big Iron Man match fan either. You know what my biggest problem with tonight's match was? The fucking timer. Why do I have to see there's 28 minutes and 57 seconds left in this match? All it's doing is taking my eye away from the actual action that's going on in front of me. All you have to do is start that timer at 30, take it off for a couple minutes while the action's going on, and then when there's a rest
Give
hold,
us an update every now and
yeah,
then.
when there's a rest hold, then you bring the timer back.
Yeah.
It's terrible TV to keep the timer up the whole fucking time. We don't need to know that the funniest thing about this, they started the timer when the match started, and all they did for 30 seconds was walk
Yeah.
around the ring and stare at each other.
Yeah.
So you're like, oh, so we wasted 30 seconds with you staring at each other. So now we know exactly how long you wasted to stare at each other.
And they set themselves up for that, for fans to see it.
And it's
that way.
it's not the girls' fault. It's not either one of their fault. It's the WWE's fault for how they do these things. And I don't need to know that there's 26 minutes and 17 seconds left. Okay, I know obviously nothing interesting is going to happen with 26 minutes and 17 seconds left. Okay, show me the timer again when somebody scores a fall, or show me the timer again when they're
It's
both
down
laying
to the
yeah, or when
wires.
they're both laying out cold in the ring from a double clothesline
And
or
then when
something.
like the last 5 minutes hit, you keep it on for the rest of the
Yeah,
match.
that's
5
fine.
minutes.
Yeah,
Because that's
but
exciting.
plus it allows you some leeway as
Yeah.
far as booking wise. Doesn't have to be exactly 30 minutes.
Speaking of booking wise, Michael, they did it again. They fucking did it again to Sasha Banks. Holy shit. She cannot. If you're a younger wrestling fan,
Firstly, they copied Brett and Shawn.
they did.
Ended in a tie.
Yeah, you're right. Let's go ahead into the match ending. You totally booked this step by step. It was creepy, like you were sitting in Gorilla with a headset on. You were saying when they were going to go home. This was very predictable. I even threw in they're going to go in overtime.
Yep.
So we booked this
Well,
on the
I think when the
spot.
match started, I asked, is there overtime in this? What happens if they tie?
Yeah.
And you were like, it's a draw. Then they have to wrestle again.
Gorilla Monsoon's going to rise from the grave and come out and stop the match. Anyway, this is what part of big reason what killed this for me was the predictability.
The funny thing was the first fall didn't happen until there was 12 minutes left. So you basically took.
Well, that's a standard match.
I
see why they went.
But
At least they didn't do like 2 minutes in a pinfall.
You took 18 minutes to have your first fall, and then you squeeze it all in the last fucking 12 minutes. So to me,
in their psychology though, they're more worn down by the end of the match, so you would score more pinfalls.
Yeah, but who knows? This is the fucking 85th time they've wrestled. Somebody catch a roll up.
Yeah, well, they did. I mean? They had a pinfall. It's terrible botchy roll up by Sasha Banks. Oh. That was brutal.
This was not their best match, folks. There was a lot of botching in this match, but there was a lot of good things.
The Falls Count Anywhere match.
Yes, on their match on Raw a few weeks ago when Sasha won the belt again was probably their best match ever, and it took away from this match.
But yeah, because how do you follow that? That was like that should have been. I don't know. This feud needs to go away for a while. I think everyone's.
Well, this was supposed to be the final part of this feud.
Hey, shout out to that. They flashed on that kid in the audience with that crazy look on his face. You're gonna see that meme on Twitter. I'm telling you.
That kid looked totally afraid, and
the crowd, you could hear them all laugh.
Yeah,
they showed it on the big screen.
At him.
Yeah, so that's how exciting.
He looked horrified, like he just saw a ghost.
I mean, they didn't have a bad match. They just, I don't know. It's Sasha and Shawn. We've seen it so many times.
Sasha was not on her A game tonight.
Can I go on a little rant now?
Yeah.
It's not gonna be that long. So my big problem with current talent, you hear it all the time, and you hear older wrestlers and shoot interviews. Guys back then, yeah, your Steamboat and Flair, you could run 2 years with just those two guys because they wrestled in different territories. But those territories, it was the same people every week, so they had to change their match because they're wrestling from the people now. They just keep having the same matches.
They have the same match wherever they go.
They never learned. They never got that experience because the territories weren't here to know how to do it on the fly, to ad lib. It's by the book. The performance center has its pros and cons. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's a better environment for the guys, but it's so robotic now how they're trained, and it's like a paint by numbers.
That to me shouldn't be an excuse because how many house shows do they work? And you know they're working each other on these house shows.
That speaks to the talent.
So they should have plenty of time to go over some new things in their matches.
They don't.
To incorporate.
They don't. And they're only allowed to do so much.
To Charlotte and Sasha's credit, I will say I've never seen them have the same match that I saw maybe back in the 90s.
This match, all they did was throw a timer on, and it was pretty much a Sasha Charlotte match that you've seen a million times.
Well,
in NXT,
maybe some parts, but
except for the Iron Man gimmick, the match itself was basically a vanilla Sasha Charlotte match.
I mean, I never saw.
Well, when she slipped off the apron and hit her face on the steps, that was pretty.
Never
She
saw
pulled
that,
that
and
off.
I never. I don't. I think this is the first time I've seen on WWE television the what is that fucking move? Why am I drawing a blank from the top rope?
I don't know.
The
I'm drawing a blank too. Backstabber.
no, the move that Charlotte does, like
Oh, the bow down to the queen flip move.
yeah, whatever that's
Yeah.
called. I can't remember it right off the top of my head, but I've never seen her do that from the top rope like that.
Yeah.
That was something new that they
Like I
incorporated.
said, it wasn't a bad match. It's just that they've got to have another contender in there now. It was the end of the line. They
Well, it's
promoted
probably
it.
going to be Bailey, which I think Bailey's just not going to do anything. I think
I
Bailey's just going to be fed because Bailey has not gotten over like everyone thought she would, like I've mentioned on the show.
well, she's working with Dana Brooke.
I mean, I hate to say I told you so, but I did.
Here's
I told you this was my biggest fear with Bailey, with her coming up to the main roster months ago.
here's how you say Bailey. Charlotte's record and title defenses on pay-per-view is undefeated. You have Bailey do it, not at the Rumble, but maybe the February before WrestleMania. Bailey gets that oh, she was the first woman to do that. Sasha comes out the next night on Raw, congratulate her, or at the pay-per-view and turns heel. They go into WrestleMania. Sasha versus Bailey. They've had the best friends gimmick going for a year since they've been on the main roster.
Nobody
WWE
knows
loves
that.
to split up teams around WrestleMania. I'm just saying, I think you do a heel Sasha, which she's much better at.
I've already spoken to you about the plans.
Just
Ronda Rousey is still in negotiations with WWE about WrestleMania, whether she's going to wrestle or not.
Yeah.
Whoever Charlotte goes against at WrestleMania will be her first title loss on pay-per-view. That's where I'm going with this. I mean, it could be at the Rumble if they get Ronda Rousey under contract for WrestleMania. Charlotte's losing that belt at the Royal Rumble or the pay-per-view before WrestleMania, whichever one. That'll be her first championship loss, or something will happen for her to lose it on Raw or whatever, to where she doesn't have to lose it on pay-per-view, and then she can lose at WrestleMania to Ronda Rousey. That's what they've been working up with this whole Charlotte thing.
Yeah.
Is she's undefeated on pay-per-view, and then you had Rousey, who was undefeated for so long, and they're gonna have Rousey wrestle Charlotte, which I think will just be a big shit fest. You'll have somebody who's a professional wrestler against somebody who's an MMA person with no in-ring experience in wrestling. Once again, it'll just be something to draw money, and it'll be a shit fest. It'll probably be a fucking squash. It'll be Ronda Rousey
squashing Charlotte.
Yeah, which does nothing for Charlotte.
No,
So,
WWE,
but unfortunately, WWE has this habit of taking these top stars and just absolutely squashing them for a payday.
Well, they also have a habit lately. That I was going to say, unlike these B pay-per-views, they always tend to like throw in one shocking thing, like the New Day losing the tag. I can see that's why I would say they would do it maybe at the February pay-per-view.
But was anybody really shocked at that? I think
I think
that was very predictable.
Maybe in their minds they thought people were going to be shocked.
Like for the Smarks, I think we all knew that once they broke the record, they were losing the belt shortly after.
Yeah.
So they just held on.
I can see them doing Charlotte and Ronda Rousey as a special attraction. That way you could have two women's matches. It's like a 5-hour.
That's what I'm saying.
Show.
It's not going to be for the belt. That's what I'm saying.
So you could have Bailey and Sasha
if they get Ronda Rousey for WrestleMania, she's going to wrestle Charlotte. It's not going to be for a belt.
But next stop is the Royal Rumble, so we'll see how they're going to do that.
And I have not heard any news on a women's Royal Rumble. So once again, my idea has been shot down again.
I don't think it's happening.
I think
Lita has left WWE, by the way. Speaking of women, her contract ran out. She didn't resign.
Okay. What was she doing?
She was doing the pre-show booth.
Yeah. Yippee. Go back to whatever you were doing.
Me or her?
No, her.
Oh, go back to whatever you're doing. Hosting a fucking show. Main event. WWE Universal, the fruit roll-up title. Roman Reigns, the U.S. title. Going against Kevin Owens. Michael,
I like to call this the firefighter belt.
The firefighter belt. There you go.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
I like it.
Main event?
It sucked.
You're not a big fan of Kevin Owens' title reign?
I wasn't a fan of this match in general. It had nothing to do with my previous thoughts on either one of these guys. I thought they put on a very lackluster match. I think they tried really hard to have a good match, but these two guys are never going to be two guys that mesh well together in the ring for me. I think their styles are very similar. For one, they're both kind of brawler style guys. And I don't think when you put two guys like this together, it's ever going to come out as a great match.
Yeah.
It's always going to be like a sloppy. like this match, if you're gonna have this match needed a stipulation.
I
This
don't
needed
think
a
it was
this
a
needed
bad match.
well, it
at
wasn't a
all.
bad, but this match, if you wanted to make this a great match, this needed a stipulation. Whether
Well, the
it's
title
no
was on the line.
well, other than that, you needed a no holds barred or a last man standing for this kind of match. When you have two guys that are brawlers, stuff like that,
End of the line.
like I hate to mention Batista again, but like Batista Undertaker, what they did with that feud, you had two kind of the same styles.
Yeah, and they blew
You know
it
what I
off with
mean?
a no holds barred
Yeah,
match.
well, they had a no holds barred. They also had a last man standing, which was an awesome match. I thought. I think that was possibly the best match of Batista's career, with the Undertaker. That was back in the end of Undertaker's prime, I think. And for
Then he went part time.
it was this is what that's what needed to happen in this match. Now maybe they will do it, in the future. I hope not. I hope they don't keep putting these guys together.
I don't know where they're going after
But
this because this ended with 2 tag teams.
yeah,
For Christ's sakes.
it made very little sense to me.
Best spot in this match was the frog splash through the outside table.
Twice.
Twice. It didn't break the first time.
Yeah.
And then another one when he rolled him in. 3 frog splashes from a 300-pound man
I know
almost.
you hated it.
The psychology
And
in
let's
that.
quit calling Kevin Owens 300 pounds. He's not 300 pounds.
He's up there.
He's maybe 250. But
You're 225, and you don't look like Kevin Owens. He's really big.
Kevin Owens is not really big.
Like
I bet you I'm, if not the same height as Kevin Owens, taller.
Well, I mean like fat-wise big, not tight or...
Kevin Owens and I, if we both took our shirts off, I don't think you'd see that much of a difference.
I don't want either one of you to do that, so let's move on.
Just saying.
Horrible visual.
Kevin Owens is Universal Champ.
For some reason in that visual, I had Pat
Physique that
Patterson
only
sitting there judging you guys.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Physique that only Pat Patterson could love.
Give me that little boy.
Oh, Kevin Owens. Oh,
He's
yes.
French Canadian.
I like a little meat on my bones,
He's a
son.
huge fan of him and Sami Zayn. They're all Montreal guys.
I bet he is.
Uh,
I trained them, aka they sucked it.
how do you think they got in the company? Connections.
I like a little meat on my
They got
bones.
stuck.
Actually, I like a lot of meat in my bones.
This show's getting gross.
Yeah.
It was the title match. and
Anytime
then,
you mention Pat Patterson, you know the show's just going a different direction.
yeah, I just want to wrap this pay-per-view up, honestly.
But
This was
Kevin
not
Owens
exciting.
gets the win because of outside interference.
From Jericho.
He gets a win via disqualification. Jericho comes in and gives Kevin Owens a code breaker, which I called.
Picks up the belt like they're going to
Picks up the belt like he wants it, and then all he does is hand it to Kevin Owens, and then it's revealed, like I predicted before the show,
It was a scheme.
that Jericho and Owens.
You did. You predicted that.
Yes, I did.
Kevin Owens won by DQ, retains the belt. For newer wrestling fans, if you win on DQ and you're the champ, you still get the belt. If you
There's
lose on,
no rematch.
it needs to be a pinfall to lose your belt.
Yes.
Is there no rematch?
There shouldn't be. He won.
No rematch for you, Roman.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, right.
He won.
Let's be real.
Roman lost. He didn't attack Roman.
But here comes Mr. White Knight babyface himself, Seth Rollins, the greatest babyface of all
This
time.
was the dumbest booking decision they made all night. You could have ended the show
with just Owens and Jericho.
Yes, walking up the ramp, getting past everybody with their little, fake feud.
Who'd this get over? It got Jericho and Owens nowhere.
The crowd popped for it.
For the wrong guys.
Well, they popped. First of all, they popped when Jericho gave him the code breaker.
Yeah.
And then they popped again when he handed him the belt and they hugged and embraced. So the crowd liked it either way, whether it's Jericho and Owens as friends or as foes. So then you took the feud and fucking ruined it by bringing Seth Rollins out.
Fucking ruined it.
Yes. You brought Seth Rollins out and you had him and Roman Reigns just beat the fuck out of both of them, put them both through tables to end the show, and the crowd totally shit on it. The crowd was very like, oh, really?
Yeah. It was very
That's kind of like we were sitting here. We were like, "Oh, really?"
Here's the state of WWE. They ended the show on a double power bomb on the upstage announce table, and then he rolled off, which looked. Well, by this point in the show, everyone's like, "Is it over?" Because that's what I said to you.
Everybody's waiting to go catch traffic.
Yeah, a very lackluster ending. Where the fuck do they go from here? Tag match at the Rumble? You suggested? Don't do that, guys. Don't book that.
So no title defense at the Rumble.
I don't know.
And all 4 guys are now booked, so they're not in the Rumble match. So you take 4 of your top stars.
We don't know if they're booked.
You take it just wouldn't make sense to me booking wise, unless they're all going to be in the Rumble match itself. So if that's the case, then this match opens the Royal Rumble, a tag match for nothing, for pride. Yeah, you have your Universal Champion in a tag match for nothing.
God, they're not going to do that. I don't think they're going to do that.
Oh, I wouldn't put it past them. They're pretty fucking stupid.
Well, speaking of stupid, Michael, overall grade. Roadblock is in the books. Second one of the year. Our second Roadblock post show of the year. Jesus. Is there another one coming?
Just because there were one or two bright spots in this pay-per-view. I will not give it an F.
Solid D.
I will give it a D.
I'm right there with you. We're going D's around the board this week on the road.
D's
block.
nuts.
Who would ever?
I've been waiting to do that since we started doing this show.
I'm almost positive you have. I'm sure you have.
Yes.
What does it say when one of the highlights of the pay-per-view is Neville?
Yeah.
Where
That was probably the brightest spot.
Probably.
Other than the lackluster Iron Woman match.
D's across the board. D's nuts roadblock.
Yes.
Glad it's over. On to my favorite pay-per-view of the
year.
year.
Glad we incorporated that into our show.
You know what I'm glad about? It's our first ever next month Royal Rumble post show.
Yes, and we get predictions.
We do. We're gonna have
We're having. You said Are we gonna have a Rumble party at the house?
Possibly.
I
want to have 4-man booth.
A dollar a man on predictions.
We'll see what happens, but yeah, my favorite.
Now you can put in another $1 if you want 2 predictions, but you don't get to predict people. You get to predict numbers.
Not the number, yeah.
It's not fair if you predict people. You just get blind draws on whoever comes out at that number. We'll put them all in a hat. And yeah, it'll be fun.
Well, there you have it. Royal Rumble is happening
coming up
next month. Our first
January
Royal Rumble show.
29th.
9th, 3 days after
your B-Day.
My B-Day.
Yeah. Hooray.
One more time, where can everyone follow you at on Twitter, Michael?
Everybody can follow me at Mike the Slam Pig, or they can follow Travis at the TMD, or you can follow us at the Slam Pigs Podcast, all on Twitter. Also, follow us on the Slam Pigs Podcast on Facebook.
Hey guys, Mike here from the Slam Pigs Podcast, reminding you, as always, check us out on Twitter at Slam Pigs Podcast. Check us out on Facebook, the Slam Pigs Podcast. Or, as always, check us out on YouTube. Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe button. Hibiki TMD is where it's at. Until we meet again, oink oink.